look, I do a lot of talking. I don't know if you notice this or not, but I do a lot of talking these days, right? But yeah, man, I slightly mentioned to my wife, like, you know what? Rich said we need more. You know what I mean? We need a little more
Hey
oomph,
man, hey man,
right?
get your out of here, brother. Turn it up.
See, but that's what I'm saying. So she was like, ha ha, right? And then she got to work, and then she, as you saw the post,
Boom, boom.
what, a week or
Step it
so,
up.
leaked it.
Mm-hmm.
So I said,
I
leaked it.
like it
We're
though. Good
asking
work
for it.
though. I like
Look
it.
at you.
I love
Look
it.
at you. Always doing it. Like, people don't understand the behind the scenes of this podcasting game, man. You know, sometimes I don't think you understand the behind the scenes of this daggone podcasting game.
Yeah,
How about
yeah.
that?
I mean, it's quite possible. I don't
See, you
understand a
give me
lot of
no
stuff.
fight. I
Josh.
don't like this
What do I fight with you
jujitsu.
for
I don't
about?
want to talk to you anymore. Just matter of fact, get them off the screen. I know just who to frap and call.
He really likes.
Yeah. I'm done. You can be back all you want. But look, I'm not going to even introduce him because I know the young lady down there on the bottom of the screen. She likes to have her guests on and introduce themselves. So now it's time to flip it. So introduce
Flip it.
yourselves.
Yo, hold on. First and foremost, that intro,
He was dancing.
I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready for the
He
808
wasn't
to hit on
ready.
the classical beat.
It was in between. It was walking that line, man.
I
Walking that
wasn't ready.
urban.
I
Oh
was like,
man.
yo, I said, yo, I bet, hey, can you imagine them? You know what I'm saying? Back in the day, if they heard that intro, like, you know, and they doing their little dances that they
What
do.
pissed them off?
What?
What pissed them smooth off?
What is going on? What's
Right.
going on? What's happening here?
It's in drum snares. What is this? You know? Good measuring. It's off. It's just doubling, triple, you know,
He
tic
coming
tac
in
and
hot.
like that.
He coming in hot. I told
No,
you.
man.
We
I
got the
like
right
this, man.
number.
So
Yeah, man.
I'm gonna say ladies first. Go ahead.
Really? Okay, so
Yep.
I'm Jamie, and I'm with Beyond Strength, but I'm also with Jay's Better. So I'm gonna let him finish. I'm gonna keep it simple because I think you're gonna ask questions as we go. So you know what I'm saying?
All right, my name is Royce Massengill. I have a podcast called Royce's Rant, which my slogan is, you know, speak your thoughts or lose your mind. Been rolling for about going on 3 years now.
Amen.
Catch that on Facebook,
He said
YouTube.
amen.
Speak everything from social, political issues, black, white issues, LGBTQ, skinny, tall, fat, black, white, all of that together. You know what I'm saying? But we do
Yes,
talk
sir.
about serious stuff within, like, as far as the community and mental health for black men and women. I'm a filmmaker, producer, writer, along with the day job. You know what I'm saying? But on top of that, man, just great to be here. Great to be in the midst of everything. I'm
10,000
also
people. That,
all of that, you know, and also part of Beyond Strength. We have created Beyond Strength together to do some community events here in our area and around the Middle Tennessee area, and, you know, anybody else that might be interested in what we do. So yeah, man, we just here for it.
Because we really do.
We
Hell
do.
yeah.
We really do what we say we do. Real talk.
I like
Hell
that. So
yeah.
I'm talking to my counterpart here about the behind the scenes, and he gave me nothing. He just kind of, you know, he's the personification of cool, right? Like, hey man, you might be right. What am I supposed to do with that? I can't have a true fight. So that's why we got you guys on.
when it's time to fight, we fight. It wasn't time then.
Okay, fair enough.
There you
Fair
go.
enough.
Yeah.
So look, man, all of those things that you're balancing. Talk to me. Work-life balance. When do you sleep? How do you have time to eat? Like, have fun? You know, tend
That's
to
a
the
lot of
lady?
hats.
Like, I don't understand.
That's a lot of
How does
hats.
that work, man? Work-life balance. How does it work?
I think you should tell the truth.
How does it work?
Don't sugarcoat.
Oh,
She said, tell
how
the
do I
truth.
sleep?
Hold on now.
I mean, to be honest, I don't.
There is no balance.
There really is none. No, there is no balance right now. So it's kind of overwhelming. If you want me to be honest with you, it's really
Yeah, we do.
overwhelming.
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
it's really
A
overwhelming.
man after my
Like,
own heart. I'm not
Yeah.
alone? Is that what you're saying?
'Cause you
I'm
know-
not alone?
You know what you're good at. You know what you can do, but it's just like sometimes life is. You know what I mean? You can let them take a stronghold on you. You know,
Yeah.
and so for me personally, you know, it's a little unbalanced right now. Still trying to juggle some things, but I'm still appreciative of the talents that we possess and that are going to be presented. But I mean, we wouldn't be human to say like, yo, man, it should get hard sometimes. It's a little stressful,
Absolutely.
man. But I'm excited
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this about to turn into a slick therapy session, right?
Well, I
Right,
mean,
'cause-
I think we should tell the truth when it comes to like doing community events and then having your own business and then still working a job, like, and then trying to be
Mhm.
there for everybody else, your kids, you know what I'm saying, your significant other, all of those type of things. Like, somebody's gonna lack something, like, and I don't think as a community we talk about that. We just show highlights and everybody thinks that it's easy, you know what I'm saying? But like, you be fighting each other, like you really want to fight everybody else, but since it's just you and them, you know what I'm saying, it is what it is. You about to get this smoke.
That's it.
All of it.
I like it, man.
Yeah,
Rich, and I,
yeah.
Rich, you can attest to this, man. We have been, basically doing the shotgun method, right? You just keep
Yeah,
firing until something sticks. Because I am absolutely obsessed with the fact that there's a couple out there who's probably taking a nap on camera and has 20 million
Getting it
views.
in. Getting it in. Yeah, man.
No, whoa, hey, I said taking a nap. Like,
Come on, man.
you know.
You know what I mean. Yeah,
Well,
I mean, getting in the
porn
views,
is a
man. Come on, get your brain out together.
You're right.
man.
You're
Get
right.
in the views, brother.
Porn is a multi-billion-dollar industry, but I'm talking about just the guy on YouTube with this girl sleeping,
Taking a nap,
literally taking a nap.
Yeah.
With 20 million views. Just
Yeah,
people
I mean-
pissed off.
I
What
mean,
is this?
When
Why
I
are they
say
even putting
getting
this
it
on
in, I'm
camera?
talking about the money, brother. You got a
Oh,
whole
hey,
nother- you
Who are
see
you
academia, man. I'm
Who did this? Who
You're
did
right.
that?
Oh man, hold on. I gotta look this
You
up.
gotta
Now.
show it. 'Cause
Hold on. No. I
You want me
hear
to show you? Here, look.
I hear
This is what the
you.
nigga did.
He said he want me to show you. Yeah.
As, you know,
And they were
it
putting
really
money in the
wasn't
super chat or something.
Hey man,
Oh, so you have to.
it.
So he's on like YouTube and Twitch, and how Twitch, one of their money making things work, is you have to pay to get your comment put on the screen.
Okay.
So people are literally paying, watching first of all, and paying money to literally down this kid.
Yeah.
Oh, just dog him.
Just talk. Yeah, talk.
Yeah,
girl
like,
to
what is
him.
this? This is stupid.
Why you
would
sleeping on
why would
live,
you have
man?
this,
Hey,
blah,
my
blah,
Get
blah,
up,
blah.
stupid.
yeah.
Yeah.
Might as well get paid if they expense. Who
Yeah.
get the last laugh now? Because I'm laughing.
Oh,
I'm like,
hold on,
man,
see.
I want to see it.
wow.
They
Oh,
paid.
yeah,
They
got me.
paid to. Okay.
No. Sorry, I started watching videos. I'm sorry. See, that's how my mind works. No, but
Yeah, man.
the idea of the behind the scenes stuff, right? Like
Yeah.
Rich and I, we are constantly like helping each other, like pulling each other along. But
Yeah.
then when it's all said and done, it always feels better, right?
Mhm.
Once we actually get it out there.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. So when that happens, like, what do y'all do to get out of a funk? Like, is this hard for a relationship? Because my Virgo wife.
Oh, see, I told you were great. I knew. See, she made that beat and you liked it. That's what I'm talking about. Tell her I said, yeah, girl.
All right.
Kept that in my.
I can
Kept that
tell.
one
I see the behind the scenes coaching. You ain't got to tell me nothing. I see it.
right
She
before.
pushing it. She pushing it. But we
Mhm.
need that though. Most of us do
Mhm.
anyway.
Oh yeah,
I know
especially
I do.
me, who's a Sagittarius, and all I care about is wandering around everywhere, talking to people, asking questions.
This
You know,
guy's
what are your
crazy,
thoughts
man.
on? Yeah, like to give you an example, I literally I was in a store having an argument,
Mhm.
and I was just like, "You out your mind? You believe everybody believes that?" It's like, what are you talking about? I
Yeah,
know
the
they
whole
do.
story looking.
So I literally started walking around this grocery store asking random people. I ran my own poll,
Yeah.
and I couldn't stop till I got at least 25. And I
Yeah.
got my 25 and won that argument.
Yeah.
Kinda, right?
Yeah,
I
kinda.
technically won, right? Like more
Yeah.
people did agree with what I was saying, probably because I, big black dude. I'm like 6'4", 340.
Yeah.
Like, yo, yeah, I agree with you, man. Of
Yeah,
course,
You
you're
won
right.
that off effort, man. You won that off effort alone.
But I lost in the
That's
long
about
run because, of course, my wife just like, ugh, and then
Yeah.
walks away. She's over it. I'm just like,
Yeah.
oh man. So yeah. I told you I had something in my back pocket about Virgo. So there you go. But yeah, so how did you get started in the podcasting game? Either of you. Who was first, actually?
Well, actually, yeah. Well,
Sounds
just
all
to
right.
make a long story short, man. We started out, which we still are. We're a film company, so we were doing a lot of music and filming back in like 2009, 2010, and we've been a great service to the Middle Tennessee area as far as Nashville, Murfreesboro, doing film work, music videos for a lot of artists that people have heard of around that way. we finally decided to invest in ourselves and invest in a couple of artists that we do have, which y'all be hearing them soon, man. It's going to be a big thing. But really, Royce's Rant is my podcast. It actually started out as a mixtape back in 2013. And it was just a mixtape with me just going off on whack rappers, going off the government, going off, you know what I'm saying, just stupid shit, you know, that people do, you know, and I rap about it, you know. And eventually, as the years went by and the changes were made, I was like, you know, I want to turn that mixtape into a podcast because I'm just ranting. My name's Royce and I like to rant. I like to talk. Why not make it a continuous thing instead of doing the mixtape all the time? So I'm like, let's start it. So we started it around Juneteenth of 2019. And since then, man, we've had everybody from musical artists, producers, politicians, state reps, county mayors, city mayors, you know, I mean, you know, our regular common people, police officers. I can't even keep up, but it was all people from all walks of life and professions, man. And, you know, we're in our 6th season right now. Well, we will be starting this summer. But it's been a great thing, man. We made a lot of big moves and we've made a name for ourselves while we were down here, you know what I'm saying, where we are. So
I met him on his show.
She
was on
the 4th episode.
Wow.
So you're a real fan then, huh?
She the one who called. She called her. She was like, yo, but what that show do? I'm like, dang, I got
y'all are the original, right?
What's that?
That's the original OnlyFans right there. I like.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Hey,
she was the only fan. She was the original. You know what I mean? She went and got it.
Get your minds out the gutter, Miss Moorehead. What are you doing?
But I'll say it like this. Yeah, she had a business. You know, so when she did hit us up.
Yeah, I was just trying to get my name out there. I figured like he seemed like he was easy to kind of like get interviewed by. You know what I'm saying? So he was actually my very first interview. Period.
That's what's up.
Yeah. Yeah, like I had never done that before, ever. Like,
wow, look, you just shocked him. Y'all just shocked each other. Y'all didn't know that.
I love it.
I didn't know. Look what y'all done did.
That's dope. Wait till later. You can find some more now.
Yeah. Look. But yeah, man, she ended up being on the 4th episode. But you know, the way I like to do it, man, we'll talk about your product, right? I gave her about 15-20 minutes on the product, but then we just talked about life after that because I always felt like in order to sell your product, you got to sell the person. You know what I'm saying?
That's
Let
right.
them know who you are so they know, wait a minute, whose hands are mixing up this butter I'm gonna put on my face? What's your mind like? You know what I mean? So yeah.
That's right.
Real talk.
Yeah, I believe that. Sometimes things can be deceptive, though. People can be deceptive. You know.
That's true.
You can hear somebody speak, and you know, you hear them speak in one context, and they sound real intelligent. You hear them speak in another context, it's total opposite.
Yeah.
You know?
Right. You're right.
One of my favorite examples of that, and I don't know if you've ever heard the man give an interview, but if you have not, go look up a Webby interview. It's the funniest thing you'll ever hear in your life.
Yeah.
This man, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I mean, he says absolutely nothing, right? Nothing. But when you listen to his music, he has a level of intelligence about it. You know what I mean? But if you just talk to him without that, without the music in the background, this man can't get a sentence together, man. But it's the funniest thing together.
That's interesting how people work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Turn that beat on. It's a real conversation. Like you got to talk to him with an instrumental in the background.
He really needs that. The intelligence comes in that way. But anyway,
and then he'll just start spelling stuff. I-B-E-T.
Oh no!
Let me show you what I'm saying. Hey, do you know what that spell, man? Hey.
But like,
ask me what show.
Right, man. But you think it's one of those things, like, you know, for you sports fans out there, Ricky Williams was famous for, you know, being a monster on the field, but off the field, he had to have like a helmet on with, you know, the tinted visor because he just suffered such a level of anxiety talking to the press. Same thing with Michael Jackson. He's out there dancing and yelling and screaming and performing and just oozing 1,000% confidence, and then talks to everybody. You know what I mean?
Tell him. You like?
I love this. Hold on. Tell him what you did.
He do that shit too.
I mean, I do too though. Like right before, I be wanting to cancel all of my stuff. Like
I was what you would call an extra introvert.
Okay. Tell us about
so like when it's time to talk, I won't shut up. But like if I ain't gotta talk, I'm gonna be quiet. You know,
I don't. Why is there a name for that?
I don't know. I just made it up. I don't know.
Okay.
I just made that one up.
I was gonna. My daddy called it "speak when you're spoken to." Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. You know, it was kind of. I kind of did the Smokey on Friday. You know what I'm saying? Like
it sounded like he got whooped a lot. You know him? I like.
Oh yeah. Yeah. We ain't play that. Yeah.
I know. Look.
We ain't play none of that.
Oh my goodness. So look, I wanna go back to your show tag.
All right.
Now, you said speak your thoughts and finish the rest.
You speak your thoughts or lose your mind.
Or lose your mind.
So what it means?
Yeah.
What it means is, it really, when you think about it, it does deal with mental health, because a lot of times it's black men, and I mean it's for all men, but I'm saying, you know, if I'm being more specific about us, more in particular, we don't talk about this a lot, and we are some angry black men because sometimes we feel like nobody will understand how we think because we're taught to be so strong all the time. So when we start holding in our feelings and how we feel about things or things that we want to say, and you know we bottle that in, eventually when you tick a brother off, you don't know where that anger came from, and it was bottled up anger. And so that was from holding your thoughts in, holding how you felt about things. And when somebody asked you a question, you didn't really tell them the truth all the way. You know, you kind of passive with it. So if you don't speak your thoughts, then you will lose your mind. You know what I'm saying? You have to get it out there, or that junk will explode into, we've seen it, violence, alcohol. You know what I'm saying? When you consume those things, they influence you to do things out of the ordinary. That's the truth.
While he drinks stuff.
Look, I done been locked up twice, 2 times, because I didn't speak my thoughts and I lost my mind, and I used that energy another way, and it got me in trouble. You feel me? And I was like, that ain't happening to me ever again. I'm not gonna get to that point to where I got to get to that level and go.
Like they put their hands on him first, though, and you know you got to shake somebody up a little bit sometimes.
I mean, I have domestic charge. I ain't got nothing to lie about that. I mean, it is what it is. Oh, okay, yeah, I wasn't no Ike Turner or nothing. No, yeah, it wasn't that. Yeah, you know, it was just,
I politely asked her to eat the cake, and she didn't want to. So what else am I supposed to do? Not hit her?
Yeah, I said please. You know what I mean? Like, please. I was just gonna put it in there for you. You know what I mean? But yeah, no, man, it's just man. That's what it'll do, man. That's what it'll do.
Yeah, so real quick, we're gonna play this, and I want you to explain yourself. Go.
Okay. You got to turn your music off though, so they can hear you.
I got you.
Let's just keep it real, and let's just keep it honest, man. Men and women are only attracted to what they like. I know a woman. Any of you women don't want no 400-pound man, just sloppy. I know you don't want it. Somebody does.
Somebody does.
I'm asking you. Let's pause. Hold on.
Okay, go ahead.
In general, I'm just saying, like, let's look at it. Everybody's attracted to somebody, right? Cool. But let's be realistic that your average man that has an average build, let's just say an athletic man, you know what I'm saying? A decent man is athletic, built nice. He's not going to want a bigger woman. Naturally, he's not going to want that.
How do you speak for someone else, though?
No, I'm speaking from my experience. 1, for me, and then 2, for the people, for my life experience of living and seeing my homeboys, knowing what they like and what they don't turn their heads for a woman that's bigger than them. Let's just keep it real.
But
let's just keep it real.
Oh, I like it. I like it.
He's shaking his head like,
hey,
damn straight.
What is wrong with this? I'd have been, hey.
Do you feel me? Okay, so if you want some context, I mean, I think Chulo already got it, but I'm gonna explain this for the people.
Well, what is Chulo? What you always say on the show, man?
Common sense ain't common. That's one thing about it. What do you want to know, Zilla?
Shout out to Thomas Paine. Common sense is not so common. I mean, and I think what happened is like, I think a lot of people really getting their feelings about who likes them and who doesn't. Everybody ain't gonna like you. Everybody ain't gonna be attracted to you. there's always an eye out for you, no matter how big or small you are. This may not be the person you may want it to be, because we're all picky about what we want, and then there's some people who just settle and be like, all right, cool, I'm gonna deal with it. That's just what it is. There's always somebody.
Yeah, she said you said somebody want a 400-pound man, and I will prove it. That's I would have told.
That's what I wanted to say, Chulo.
Where's the proof? I ain't see no proof about this.
That
might have just happened. Some things just happen. You
Yeah.
understand? Some things just happen. Things just end up certain ways. You know what I mean? When you 400 pounds, you're gonna do whatever you can do. You know what I mean? If
Right.
they cooking, you coming. All right?
Mhm.
Or you not leaving. Whatever the case may be. There's a need fulfilled somewhere. You know what I mean?
Always, man. There's always somebody, bro. Like, I'm trying to tell you, listen, the thing is like, our expectations sometimes are a little too high up based off the reality that we live in. There's nothing wrong with expecting things, but is your reality matching up to that? Or are you staying where you're at in life, expecting something greater than whom you are or who you're trying to be, right? So it's like,
he don't see.
He sees no lies. He's looking for one.
I felt Kevin Samuels come in the room. What is this going on?
Okay. I'm glad you brought
That's
that
just
up.
real though, man. Like, and that's just real. There's somebody for everybody, y'all. And I'm not trying to make fun of anybody, anything like that. It's just like, I'm gonna be real. Anytime I have a debate with a female that may be of plus size, they always seem to have this thing is like, oh, everybody's supposed to like me. They all up in my DMs and stuff like that. And it's like every man, and I'm gonna keep it real. When she told me
for a reason, sis.
Yeah, she said every man that she's dated has been smaller than her. Well, I mean, to be honest,
a lot of people are smaller than you.
Yes.
Yes. You thought he was the only one, Jamie? Did you think he was the only one, Jamie? Did you think you were going through this by yourself?
I already knew. I knew.
That's why I talk like I do, because I knew I wasn't the only one. When she asked, how do you know? I'm like, experience. And I know brothers right now that I don't even know that I know that they know.
I mean, I've been in barbershop, so I knew what he was saying. No. You see me sit up, I was like, it's about to go down.
No.
Like, it's
No.
down.
Let me explain something to you. I was at the barbershop and all kinds of conversation was happening. And my pastor walked in. And then all of a sudden, everybody, just out of nowhere, remembered every scripture they had ever had to memorize. I was just thinking about you, pastor. So when you say you've been to the barbershop, unless you had a bug in one of the seats, no, you haven't. No, you haven't. However bad it was, just
It's
understand
worse.
that was watered down for you.
Oh, okay. So you're saying that it was worse. Oh, okay. Well, it was
Possibly.
still bad.
I don't know. I wasn't there. I don't know. I ain't no snitch now. Hold on now.
No, I'm just saying, like they talk about stuff like that. So
I mean, the truth is the truth. Like, I realized, man, that like, even look, I dealt with this in college, man. I know there were girls I was trying to get at that I know that were out of my league. And I don't mean that. I mean, that's far as even looks and how women perceive men and what kind of men they like, their size. They don't like them too skinny. Some of them like a little meat on their bones. So it's just like, you really just have to be comfortable with who you are, right? And if that's how you're going to be and that's who you are, then don't force somebody to like you because they're not attracted to you. That's just attraction on a physical level, right? You may be cool as hell to kick it with, but like, if they're not feeling you physically, don't get mad at them and be like, oh, you're fat shaming. No, I'm not attracted to fat women. That's
not
it.
that fat. There's not,
there's a level of fatness that I'll, like, I can't really take too much.
There's levels to this.
There's a mindset.
Where did you put it?
There's a level to. I'm just being real. I don't say I like every fat person, like attracted to every big woman. I'm not attracted to every big woman.
Do you smell like sweet syrup? You know what I mean? All that shit matters to me.
Yeah, man, come on. Man, thank you, Chulo. I appreciate you, brother.
Yeah, that changes the game for me.
I appreciate you, man.
When you smell like cake batter and all that type of shit, the game changes.
Hold on, man.
I
like
know there
sweet
were women
syrup
out
and
there
cake
that
batter.
didn't like me because I was skinny. Like, I don't like skinny dudes. Okay. What were you saying?
I was just saying that there's some pretty girls that are big though. Like, they have like
for sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's some pretty big
I guess
girls.
too, but there's some. I'm just don't be mad because I'm not attracted to that.
Right.
I'm not.
I think what you're saying. Okay, first of all, we failed to do some house cleaning, or not house cleaning, whatever. right? Hello, Facebook. Hello, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. Clips will be up later on Instagram, later on sometime next week, because, you know, Chulo, Rich, and myself are the boss of this stuff, and we do what we want. You know what I mean? Also, Spotify, Apple iTunes, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music. That will be uploaded next week as well. Okay, now, my wonderful guests, here are the rules. We're all a little bit right. We're all a little bit wrong. Each of us have something of value to share. Okay? So now, Miss Jamie, I want to hear, like, you kind of elaborate, like, well, I guess first we'll start with you. Let's start with you, Mr. Royce Rant, right? Are you saying, stop me if I'm wrong, are you saying that, like, my preference is my preference just like yours is yours, right? So don't try to make me pretend to be attracted to everyone for inclusivity's sake, right? Just leave me be. Leave me alone. I was over here quiet, and then you said, well, you didn't praise her enough. Well, because I'm not attracted to her. You know what I mean? Like, we didn't have to get there. How about just leave me alone? How about leave me to my own thoughts and my own attraction, right? Do I have that right, sir?
So let me throw the context in here. Because within that clip, there's a context within that clip, because the conversation that we were having, you know, really was strung off of Kevin Samuels and how he talked to women, right? Talked to black women in particular. You feel me? Now, at first, you know what I'm saying, I was all for it. I was like, yo, man, talk to these chicks straight, because, man, I'm tired of them always talking ish about us and blase, you know what I'm saying? But it's time for somebody to talk that ish to the women so they can hear it. So when the women called in, it was like, I was like, yes, they're getting exactly what they deserve. They coming at him all correct. They coming all unorganized with their life, and they think that they can get this type of man, and they have all this baggage, and they feel like they don't have to do anything else. You know what I'm saying? So, but it all starts from the weight, right? And
I'm gonna interject.
Yeah, interject that so I need a lead way.
Said that big girls are of low value, and that he was giving a general consensus that black men don't want to date big women, basically. And that, I'm just being honest, like, he did say that. He said that, yes, he did.
He was talking about high value men.
No, he was saying in general that men, let's be real, men don't double take at big women.
Okay.
He did.
So,
okay. Doesn't matter if you have money or not.
So look, I got to give it to him, because he had to be right. I didn't even see it, right? But he was saying that he was talking about high value men, right?
Okay.
I know some niggas that are purposely looking for her, right? Whoever she is, because he feels like her self-esteem level is right where he needed to be. Need to say to get her to do whatever he need her to do. You feel me? Whatever that may be. Then you have the total opposite. You know what I mean? You female that is not going for that because she know better and she do better. You know what I mean? That's a whole separate conversation for two separate Jews. You can't mix the two. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You can't mix the two. You can teach and maybe you can lead one to one side and one other, but you can't mix the two.
There you go. And I think that's what the problem was, is that regular, average men were listening to high value advice. You see what I'm saying? And then they were taking that to their average lives, and you can't apply that because you don't make six figures.
Yeah, and there's not too many, man. I'm gonna keep it real. Like, there's not too many people like. I'm gonna keep it real. There's not too many people like me, and there are some men out there that are like me that may not be six figures, but then have that mentality to be able to decipher. Okay, I know where he's coming from. Like, I may not have six figures, but I understand your mentality, because it's like people were mad at if a woman is over 35 with 2 kids and 2 different baby daddies. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that shit. I just a big girl drop, no doubt. I wish I knew that. Can you put that in context? Yeah.
He must.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like your value drops. It's almost like with a man. If a man came to a woman, right, and she was like, "Oh, I'm feeling you," but then she come to find out that he got 3 kids from 3 different baby mamas, your value has dropped. That's just mathematics. That's who wants to be with a man that has 3 different baby mamas? I'll wait. Women, raise your hands.
No. And see.
No, except for that woman who except for the woman who hasn't
her
had
own.
success, right? Hasn't had success. Well, I'm saying hasn't had a success with having children of her own, and she's always wanted kids. So a man with 3 kids
don't know better.
Well, a man with 3 kids may be appealing because I want kids. I physically can't have them, so I'm looking for somebody with kids so I can have at least that experience of being a step parent. But I think the problem is
that happen, Jay Zilla.
That's what I'm saying. That was my next thought.
Oh, that happens all the time in the hood, my boy.
No. I wouldn't say all the time.
Right, but in the hood, don't those chicks got kids too, though?
Hang on. Here's what I'm saying. Hold on.
I've been duped sometimes because I didn't know that he had kids. You know what I'm saying?
You're not talking about me.
No, I'm not him.
Look,
but I'm just saying, like, because I think men only give like a certain amount of information. You know what I'm saying, in the beginning. By that time,
but you have to be careful with that, Miss Moorhead. Because
I was younger then. You know what I'm saying? And I'm trying to give an ideal of why women end up with men that have, 3 baby mamas and they stay is because they're already invested. Not necessarily if she would have known on the front end. Yeah, you're right. We wouldn't have picked you. We wouldn't have picked you because we don't want to be baby mama number 4. You know what I'm saying? But I think usually when we find out, it's too late.
But to Royce's point, right? How often does that happen? And that was literally the end of my thought, which is we're looking at the extremes. We can't keep looking at the extremes and try to make them right. We can't try to make them
my boy.
5x4.
My boy.
Like this, my value sucks.
Hey, bro.
Everybody club.
Yeah, bro. No security in the club.
Shoot the club up, Dean. That's right, Dean. Fire.
Security too expensive, man. $4.99? No.
Look, we have Miss Jessica Johnson in there. We have
I appreciate your confidence, Mr. Tanner.
Right.
Wait, what am I pulling?
I feel like game is trash.
We can tell.
Dang, homie.
We're gonna make a plan that we get to W. Yeah. That's right.
So that's what I'm saying. Like a lot of times we look at the extremes, right? Right. Like, oh, this person did X, and as a serial killer, this person, Mother Teresa, was one of the nicest people on the planet. But that's not like most people live in the middle. Yeah. And the same has to go for preferences. But right now, we're gonna watch a person watch Kevin Samuel. I hope I got the right one. Because honestly, I don't know who he is. I had never heard that name before. These are the very
Chulo. Have you heard?
Oh, he has.
Chulo's, he had to.
Okay.
Yeah, so Chulo's the cool one.
Yeah, he looked like.
All right. So let's take a listen.
Since men are so visual, are all of these men with 6-packs and they're completely fit?
It doesn't matter. See what you're doing, man, is you're trying to make an equivalency. I'm accepting you as a normal, average earning man, and you're not in shape. And the problem is the men are not overweight to the extent the women are. White men, Asian men, Hispanic men, Middle Eastern men who are average earners do not have to accept overweight and obese women as the norm. They get to pick from women who are physically fit because you know why? Because the women in those races want to please their men. They don't feel like they are settling for an average man. They feel like an average man is worth having and worth being fit, feminine, friendly, cooperative, and submissive. Our women feel like, well, if I'm going to get an average man, he should accept me as I am. Absolutely not.
Okay. He's saying a lot.
She got a question.
Kevin Samuel guy.
Hey, so let me ask you. Wow, boy.
You ain't watched enough, bro. I'm gonna look. After this show, you gonna need to do a little hour binge and just go through his clips. Okay. I promise you.
He said, "My God, you listen to Kevin and you got all them kids."
Okay, so I'm just basing it off. How about this? I'm just basing it off of that one clip, like because
what blew him up? What blew him up, Zilla, was what blew him up. The transition in 2020 is when a woman called in demanding she wanted a 6-figure man, blah, blah, blah. I was going there. I was about to say that. Hold on. We're going to go there.
You like, get it right.
She wanted a 6-figure man. And even he asked her, he said, how would you rate yourself? She said, I'm about a 5. He said, okay, so you're about average.
What the fuck are we talking about here?
Right?
That would have been it for me.
She said 7 at first.
She said, well, you can't use 7. Everybody said, she said, well, 5. Okay. And he said, okay, well, you're average at best. So when he said that, right, the crowd went crazy. They were so, how could you say she's average? He said, I just repeated what she said. She said that she was a 5. She said a 5. And she's
I was watching it mad as hell.
Yeah, she wants these glorious, good-looking men and stuff like that. It's like, wait a minute, like you're average at best. So why don't you? He said, what's wrong with getting the average guy? And she was like, oh, they don't make enough money for me. I'm like, all right, well,
yeah, the city girls didn't promote that.
Okay.
I keep telling you, city girls shit is messing up lives out here. You're gonna be 50. You're gonna be a golden girl. The game gonna change. It's gonna catch your ass.
Hang on. We talked about the city girls a couple of weeks ago, but remember that is a direct response to the city boy. That's what we agreed on, right? Because we were trying to figure out like why they
I learned a long time ago 2 wrongs don't make it right.
That's true.
Yeah, but that's not how the world works, Rich, and you know that, man. We all know that. So right now, like think about this. In this world, we could end world hunger. And we can end a lot of diseases by ending the fact that not everybody on this planet has fresh water. It's just a number. But we all, like, there are some people who are at work here who decide, nah, pay me. Like, okay, we'll pay you. No. Pay me a lot. Like it's a human problem. All of this, the shootings, all of this stuff is a human issue, right? There are literally just people who are deciding, I'm not going to do more. I'm just not.
Right.
Not for free. So when I say the city girls are directly bouncing off the city boys, you know what I mean? What the frap are you doing, Rich? Get them off. Get them off the frapping screen, producer. Thank you. Look, all I'm saying is chicken or the egg. Which came first?
Yeah.
Which came first? Go ahead, put yourself back on when you're ready, man. A phone call, a whole phone call. Sorry. So go ahead. What are you saying?
No, technically, what were we saying?
Well, you're just talking about like the context of the
situation. Yeah, just the context of the situation. You know, like like I just don't think, you know, I just think that what Kevin Samuels has said, as far as if we're just picking out lessons or advice or opinions, even in facts in some cases, you know what I'm saying? I do appreciate that personally, you know. Now, if I go back and look at how he did it, I start to tap in and be like, you know what? I've had moments where I got excited because there was a certain clout coming around me, and then I lose the state of my mission. You know what I'm saying? And I believe his intentions were good. I really do believe that he was trying to like, oh man, I'm about to get black people back together again. I'm about to tell them about themselves. They're gonna get fit. They're gonna be friendly, and they're gonna be feminine. And men are gonna be men, and women are gonna be women.
Right.
But somewhere along the line, when the money started coming, you know, he was online every day on all the platforms to the T. You don't know, like, damn, did he have a regular life? Like, you know, that could build a lot of stress too.
Yeah.
You know, and he had unforeseen friends, you know, in the YouTube area that just wanted to be his buddy all of a sudden, you know. So it's like, I feel his pain. I feel his pain.
So I have this same issue, right? I told y'all, like, you know, Sagittarius, someone else called me a seeker, right? Just I want to get to the answers.
Yeah.
So a lot of times, you know, that's the engineering part of my brain, right? Yeah. A lot of times I just want to get to the answers, and I don't think about how it may or may not make someone feel. Does that make sense? Yeah. And my boy Rich is good about just being like, hey, man, you've been talking for 20 minutes straight now. Get to the point. It's like, oh, well, I'm thinking out loud. I'm trying to get some. No. What's your point? It's like, okay, all right. So, you know, I love this guy. I love that he's able to, you know, check me, because a lot of people, either because I'm so kind or whatever, Southern boys, Southern manners, that they don't want to tell me, hey, man, can you get to the point? Can you hear this up? Can we end this conversation? Right. And also, I'm enormous. I'm ginormous. I'm a big dude. Right. Yeah. So that can be intimidating. But I think where he's headed was, I think I agree with you. Right. Which is he wants to fix so many things. And so, okay, let's get to the answers. I'm going to let you rate yourself. And don't use that 7 crowd. That's what people do when they don't want to go 8 and above or 6 and below. Yeah. So he kind of put her in a box. And like literally, what is average is median. Like 5, 6, that's average.
Yeah.
That's right there in the middle. That's all it means, right? Yeah. So when I said like, hey man, I like this guy because he thinks like I think I want to think one day when I grow up. You know what I mean? Very scientific, very mathematical, just fair, firm but fair. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah.
And Tanner, what you pausing? What you pausing over here? You must have said something, Zilla. You must have said something pause worthy.
I know, man. We got. This is around the time that we just go ahead because we have 40 minutes in. I didn't even notice that. My bad. There's a link right there. If you have a question for our guests before we get into some promotional stuff, just go ahead and click that link. Come on and explain your dadgum self. Brian Tanner of Tanner Talks podcast coming soon. He and his missus.
Tanner Talks.
Tanner Talks. So right there, click the blue link.
I like that.
Follow the prompts. Come on and tell us about yourself. He says,
I'm a
big guy, Paul, son.
Yeah, that's what he got you on. Okay, he hit you with
what?
that.
Am I not a big guy? What happened?
Now he gonna pause you again.
Is that different? Like, I hate talking to the comments. Click the link and come on and say your piece. Explain your dadgum self.
I'll be. That's how I be like on my show too. I'll be like, well, y'all come on and get on the
show. My guy Rich watching a dirty
If I
movie
was, you gonna tell every damn body about it? Damn, Dean.
Yeah, he into something over there.
Dean is watching,
Dean
man.
Called me out, man. Hey, man, that's black entrepreneurs, man. That's sometimes you can do just a little bit of whatever you want to do or need to do. I apologize to you all, but family is important to me. So it's having a quick conversation with my family.
You see how he did? He went from entrepreneur. He went from entrepreneur to father of the flapping year.
I'm also a brother and a father and all of these things too.
There you go.
This guy.
Yeah, talk to these other folks.
And you're also a producer. You're also a producer who can excuse his dad. Hey, 1 minute, y'all. Boop. And he's gone. Look at that. Mr. Dean. This is the famous.
Bam, and I bring it back. No.
This is the famous Sidney Dean Williams of Let's Talk with Gels and Dean podcast. How are you, sir? Man, what the frap?
Yo. Man. So I was just getting in there because my man had said something earlier about, woman might not want a guy with 3 kids. Hell, I got 5 by 4. And if I want to, I can still get out here and pull them. I'm honest about it. I'm up front. I don't never shy away. I'm like, I got 5 kids by 4 different women. You want to get down. You want to move on to the next one. This is whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
Hey, because somebody out there is going to find value in it. Because one thing about it, all my kids are well taken care of. They don't want for nothing. And I have never been the type to lie about that.
Thank you, Dean. And we
Dean,
just
let me ask you this, bro. Can I ask you something, Dean?
Yeah, I'm listening.
Would you, if it was the other way around, would you take a woman with 5 kids?
Done it.
It depends on the woman.
No. That sounds like the past. Are you doing it now, though?
Yeah.
Depend on the woman.
Okay.
It depends on the woman, brother.
So
that's what I'm saying.
All of these conversations.
Right here, he like all the kids. Okay.
All this is subjective. I used to not deal with a woman if she didn't have kids, because then I knew you couldn't cook and take care of a house.
Ooh.
But
he got a standard. He's like, she gotta have kids.
But this early on, this when I was 16, 17.
He's like, because I'm home.
16, 17, 18. You know what I mean? It's fresh out of high school, man. However old I was when I graduated, that was my thought process. Was if you ain't got kids and you now I know you can't cook, you can't take care of a house.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Wait, hold on.
Too much
I'm gonna use Tanner's term. Pause. How did you know that they could cook?
You gotta learn.
Well, see, my father taught me these things. My father's older. My father's, well endowed in the macking game. You understand? So my father taught me all these things very early.
Dean was like, I take kids.
Now that sounds like a Freudian slip. Oh, sorry. Hey, appreciate Mr. Dean for being on the show with your question.
Ask me what he
Hold on, let's do this.
That's a woman's question. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm about to say, come on, Moorehead. You're a podcast.
She got a question.
Ask him a question.
For a living, Dean, like that you're okay with taking on somebody with all them kids like that.
Man, I work I work General Motors outside of doing the podcast. Yeah.
Sell crack cocaine.
So Dean, if you didn't have any kids, would you take a woman with 4 kids?
Probably so.
Yeah, that's hard to answer. Come on.
Because you got to think. I didn't, when I got in a situation a long time ago, I didn't have none of my own, and I jumped into something like that.
I mean,
it actually helped me, but it helped me grow up as a man.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So when I did have my own, I knew what the experience was. You know what I'm saying?
No, I agree. I've been in several situations where I've been a figure. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Never, wasn't able to, have my own. You know what I'm saying? But, so I mean, I definitely get that part in it. I definitely get it. But I'm gonna keep it real. It wasn't what I was looking for. It wasn't like,
no.
I need a woman with. And I guess that's the question I'm asking. Like,
I wouldn't.
Who knows what they're looking for at 19, 20 years old?
I wouldn't.
Tell me what 19, 20-year-old know.
It just happened.
They're not looking for 4 kids, Chulo.
You don't know what you're looking for.
I don't know no 19-year-old that won't this. I don't know no 19-year-old man that wants a woman with 4 kids.
When I met,
I agree.
At 19, I married a woman 36 years old, right? I was 19. I married a woman 36 years old. She had 4 children, right? But I understand.
Brother, she was taking care of you. But stop too long.
Oh, that's not a question. We didn't say she wasn't.
And she sucked the life out of you. That's why you was like, I'm gonna just stay right on over here.
She topped it off, bro. And she had that plate in the microwave with aluminum foil.
That's exactly what happened.
But I can see it from both angles though. I can see where you coming from. I can see somebody else I'm coming from. And you're right though. You're right. Yeah. In society, some women won't. They won't deal with nobody with kids. Like my cousin, one of my cousins got 8 or 9. You know what I'm saying? And how you gonna sell that pitch? You can't lie about it. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be upfront. So I can understand it from both angles. It's all off of what that person, what they preference is. You know what I'm saying?
I definitely dig that, man. You can't lie about that. You liable to run into one of them. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying, man. ain't no lie about it. All mine older though, so you know what I'm saying. Like, it ain't no. It really. And when they all look like you, it ain't no damn lying about it. So,
brother Dean, you are rare, and I commend. I respect that. I got to give you respect for that,
man. So.
But you just said it. You just said it right there at Royce's Rant. Like, we're talking about the extremes. Dean is in that class of extremes. I do not believe he's the average. The average do exactly what average people do, which is what they're told. And what we're told in movies and advertisement and things like that is that, no, you don't want that. You want a supermodel. You know, they've got everybody aiming up. Right? Supposedly.
Everybody she crazy as hell. That's what you don't know.
Baby,
ask me about that behind the scenes. I tell you all you need to know.
Hey, look, before I go, Gales and Chulo and my guys down in the corner. Hey, Rich was up there in the corner looking at some type of dirty movie.
I knew he was going
there smiling and shit.
I knew he was going there.
He was up there smiling and having a good time. Y'all ain't pay attention to this, man. He was all in his own world.
He was in his own world.
I was trying to figure out how can I throw some at this dude, man.
Hey man, that dude was up there enjoying something, man. But hey, man, all love to the show, man. I had to get on and answer that question real quick. But I'm gonna get off and watch this game, man.
We appreciate it, man. We appreciate it. Go Miles. Go Miles. I had to get him off real quick. Hold on. But yeah, man.
Come on here trying to call a brother out. Come on.
Right. I like your answer though, man. If I was, why would you tell everybody? Yeah.
Right. He said, OJ, if I did it, this is how I would have did it.
But again, first of all, that plate fixing thing that your father taught you most likely learned from his father or another guy, right?
Yeah.
But what scientists call that is a Freudian slip. This idea that somewhere deep down inside, every boy wants to kill his father and marry his wife or marry his mother.
Oh, wow.
Right? It's a psychological thing, and it exists for girls. Now, how we see it.
Did a white man say that?
Yeah, Sigmund Freud was very, very, very white.
Yeah. His opinion is gonna be a little different than mine, just a little bit.
But this is what I'm saying. Okay, let me venture a guess here, Rich. Right? Let me guess. Are you gonna say like, nah, we just want somebody to cook as well as our mom and looks really good, and lady in the street.
Don't try to twist my words.
No, I'm making a guess. These are my words still. Yeah. Right? They haven't left. But most men usually look to circumvent their fathers. My father is a millionaire. I'm gonna be a billionaire. There are many ways to skin a cat, as we say in the South. Right?
My father told me to do that, though. Did yours not? Did your father not say, "Hey, this is me. Be better than I am"?
Come on, Rich. You know my story. My father wasn't here to say very much about anything. Okay.
Neither was mine, nigga.
Look,
but still,
I had a conglomerate. Right. Look, I got big. I was looking at my mom eye to eye as a 11, 12, 13-year-old. So she quickly realized, oh, I see where this is going, and took me straight to the church house. Right. Got me around a bunch of deacons who stood over me and was like, boy, now you got to do this and that. Right. Yeah. But no, I'm saying like the ideal of how the brain works. And then we just know what we know, as you like to say. And who's the first line of defense? The parents.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm looking at my father. Okay. That's how a man is supposed to be. And that's how a woman is supposed to be. So if I'm trying to emulate my father, what does that mean? Well, I got to find somebody like my mother. My mother's a great cook. I better find me a great cook. That's all that means. It's not really sexual. It's just ideology. But what I'm saying
doesn't always happen.
Right.
It doesn't always happen.
Oh, yeah. Well, people are going to rebel. Yeah,
that's right, Michael Jackson.
That's the majority of the time it does. I mean, you were 19, you married a 36-year-old, okay? I mean, like, look
my father did the exact same thing. He hadn't shared that story with me until after I did.
Okay.
Right, but it was in your DNA.
Yeah, everything I do, he tells me after I do it. You know, I did that same thing. I was waiting on you to do it.
Like, why didn't you warn me, man?
Like just watching it, like you're the movie right now.
No, I know exactly what he about to do.
He gonna do this in just a minute.
Like
it's Groundhog Day and shit. Come on, man.
I think parents do a disservice by not telling their kids how they were before they became the correct person, that they want to portray, right? Because a lot of times we do the same stuff they do, and then they'd be like, "Oh, see, maybe I should have said." No, you should have said something.
Don't tell me half of it. Tell me the truth. They always used to tell me, "You know how I know what you did, nigga? I was 7 too. That's how I know." So tell me about all the other stuff you did when you were 7.
Here's the problem. They probably forgot. Right. That's I know true. Me as a parent, like I don't remember until I see them doing. It's like right back to okay. All right. I gotta like, boy, what do you think? Okay, yeah. Too. You know what?
Right.
You know what? I understand what you're trying to accomplish, but I'm saying what we're doing now is making the extremes the normal. And I'm saying that's where Samuel, I think, makes his mistake, as well as that young lady. Right, he tried to make it as fair as possible. You tell me what you are worth. Okay, so that's about that. He just gave the definition of what 5-6 range is, and everybody blew up. Why? Because we can't even agree on what things mean anymore.
Right.
But you know what threw a lot of women off too?
What's that?
When he said, when he has that scale of 1 to 10, guess who he said was his 10?
Ooh, Michelle Obama?
Kelly Rowland.
And she's, I'm shocked. And
it threw them off. They thought he was going to be light skinned, somebody
Beyonce. Right?
I was happy with that. I'm very happy with that decision.
Yeah, I have to agree with him.
You approve of that message, Senator?
Very happy with that decision. Yes,
right.
Yes, sir.
You start at the epitome of black, if we're looking at the image, right? And then everything else, the beauty, the hair, the smile.
Yeah, she's fine, right? Like, if you look at her, she's exceptional. Personality is exceptional.
I was about to say, she seems fun. She seems genuine. When she laughs, it never seems fake. It seems like,
when she laughs, I laugh. That's right.
Yeah.
Right.
Rich, that's it. When she laughs, I laugh. What was that? How'd that song back in the day go? I'll put my hand up on your hip. When I did. Right. We're all out here mirroring each other. But, look, I'm going to go back to this comment. That gum Tanner Talks. Click the frapping link and get the frap on and explain yourself. Exactly. Sorry, white people. Like, the ideal of a Freudian. Okay, here's what Freud says about human behavior, right? Most likely, if a girl grows up watching her mother get beat, she's going to end up in the same situation. Okay, because she, with all her hubris, believes that she can do it better. I ain't gonna ever let no man blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. You're right.
And now it's the embarrassment of, dang, I let it happen to me too. Well, I can't leave him because then everybody will know and then we'll be broken up and I'll be another statistic. And I'd rather stay with this dude and box it out with them. I've literally seen this. Women fighting
I think
men.
Freud was one of the, he was just one of the people that had his opinions recorded, earlier in time. Niggas like me, my daddy called it pimping. Freud was pimping before this shit was talked about, right? Freud full of shit too. Sorry.
Look, this is why I love this is how we came up with the name Urban Academia. You see, I droll on and babble about things that I've read in my college times.
He goes, my daddy taught me all about that shit, Freud. You full of shit.
Freud, come on. It's how Freud existed like 100 years ago, Rich. You don't think? Come on, man. Yeah. Get a man some credit. This was before the internet. He was like, people are gonna pattern themselves after their parents. Well,
he said somebody recorded him. In my place, we call it pimping.
Right, for real.
Freud said some slick shit and had people engulfed in it. That's all it was. Like, come on, Freud. It's a whole class of niggas over there.
But is he wrong? Is he wrong? Have we all not seen that same pattern
over here? That's not like that though. You know what I
mean?
But
we're talking about extremes versus the norm. Now, here's what happens. Let me take it back to Mr. I keep wanting to call you Mr. Rant. Royce's Rant is your show. I'm gonna do
whatever,
it. I feel like
rings, bro.
Okay, I got permission now. So yeah, Mr. Rant. Question first row. No, but I'm gonna go back to your point of how. Did I lose it? Hold on. Where's it at? Does what he want? 17s. Dang, I lost it. That was a good point too. I guarantee you, it would have made y'all like, "Oh man, I'm about to like, subscribe, and share."
Well, I got a random question since you lost what you're saying. First off, where you from, Royce?
I reign from Tullahoma, Tennessee.
Okay, no doubt. How old are you?
I am the big 4-0, brother.
You probably know my homie 5'3" then, don't you?
Oh yeah. We're teaming up for our Juneteenth event.
Yeah,
that's a good segue.
No doubt. Yeah,
he said a good segue.
You got to know them little towns. Everybody knows somebody from there.
Yeah. Definitely, man.
Now with the name Royce. Now, do you go on with the name Royce? Do you listen to Royce? When I say Royce, do you know who I'm talking about? This is usually.
Do I listen to myself?
No.
Oh, you talking about Royce the 5'9"?
Of course, you know what I mean. You knew who I was talking about. Only intelligent. When you're intelligent, you know about other intelligent people when they speak. So I figured you probably had heard the man. You got the same name.
That feels like a jab, man. I'm just saying because I don't know.
It's an inside joke. If you don't know, you don't know. That's why I asked him where he's from. I thought he was gonna say Detroit. His name Royce and this and that. But if you don't know, you don't know. Shout out to Royce 5'9".
Shout out to 5'9". Real talk, man. Slaughterhouse in the house. The slaughterhouse is
for sure.
Good. Yeah, man. But I think I know what you were talking about. What weren't we saying? What was that before then? That had something to do with Kevin Samuels.
The average at best situation.
The average at best. The average at best situations. She put herself in that. She put herself in that predicament. But like, I guess where I was kind of getting to was like, 5. I think a lot of black women were getting really, really. They just didn't like the way they'd never been taught to like that before in a long time, unless it had something to do with pimping. Unless it had something to do with pimping.
The last nigga that spoke to them that way, that had a suit on, was a pimp. You understand? Now this nigga come out of nowhere, and he's not a pimp. He's a respectable black man, and he talking shit. You don't like that? Sorry,
they don't like that.
I got my point.
We like Simon though. We'll keep watching American Idol, and Simon will tell you, "Hey man, you sound like shit." We'll get mad, and we'll tune in the next day.
Well,
absolutely.
He's so popular because he's basically the Dallas Cowboys, right? He's polarizing. You tune in to hate them. You tune in to like, yeah, they do suck, right? And cheer them on. But either way, you're tuning in. That's the creme de la creme when it comes to engagement and foot traffic on the internet.
Watch me sleep, baby. You understand?
Watch me sleep. People gonna get on there just to be like, this is the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life. But you're tuning in.
Sleep and you got paid for
it. Yeah.
You're right.
The comments. It was comment. You know what I mean? How much energy does it take to comment on something you hate?
You got
right, but these people were paying for it, and I'll try to find that video. But I forgot that your boy has said some very unsavory things. Now I am quoting. He says, "Is this a B word talking to me? Man, go do your husband's dishes." Counsel. Get him the crap out of here. We got him all the way off. He's like a child person. Like he's very young. I'll show Speed. Look at that story because he said some other wild stuff too.
Yeah.
But Mr. Tanner,
what's going on?
You have so much to explain. I don't even know where to start. Do we start with like, am I not a big guy? Are you not a big guy?
We're saying that. You can address yourself in a different manner than saying that.
Yeah, I'm a big guy.
Don't say that, bro. Stop.
Hey man, get him out here! I say what the crap I want. What the fuck are you doing to my show? Telling me what the fuck you say?
Hey, at least he brought him back though.
Oh man, that's why I love my
brother. Come on, man. You saw that coming, man. You saw that coming.
You know, he's a long time show watcher, a little friend of the show, Mr. Brian Tanner. Tanner Talks coming soon, or I'm gonna hunt him down and kick him in the shins because that's as far as I can jump.
Damn, make Tanner talk today. Come on.
Hey, let's hear it. Let's hear it. What was your question, sir?
I really didn't even have a question. I'm like, it's an unfortunate situation about what happened to Kevin Samuels, but to address a little bit of
what happened to him?
What?
Oh, he died.
He died.
With a low value.
Y'all niggas been talking about this man for almost an hour. Y'all
didn't know who he was.
I didn't know that he didn't know that he died.
He didn't know who he was.
Wait a minute. Zilla not used to getting removed, but I damn it, Zilla.
Please get
That's
him
fair.
the fuck out of here, bro.
I mean, listen, man. Shit. All right. All right. Now let's try this again. All right.
What the hell?
Oh my God, I'm sweating.
What's going on here?
Kevin Samuels was an amazing man. That's who he was.
Exactly. The key word in that is blood.
Hold on now.
He got about an hour of binging to do.
Oh man, it just got real up in here. Hold on. All right,
you got a lot to catch up on, brother.
Wow, you got to replay this. Start this shit all over.
That laugh came from deep inside. I ain't had that in a while, man. I appreciate that. Rich kicked me all the way off, bro. All the way off. No, they mentioned it pregame. I said, I'm not sure who that is. And he's like, oh man, you got to watch
all
this
this fucking research you doing. You didn't research that?
No, we didn't have show topics like that. I'm here to talk about Juneteenth programs and podcasting. I wanted to rant a little bit to other podcasters because they understand. Yeah, I'm late, Dean. Thanks so much.
My boy be working. He ain't got time to look up. Let's do it.
Okay, so look, for our guests and anybody who may be new to the show, right? And look, the very, very quiet, beautiful lady down there. You can find her right there. I keep waiting for you to, kick us off and start talking, but she's quiet. I feel like she's watching carefully. Be careful, Philip.
I am watching carefully. You know what I'm saying?
She's at the barbershop.
No, she does once it's all analyzed. When it's all analyzed,
then I'll snap.
Yeah. She direct.
Right.
Yeah.
She direct. Oh, I like. Right. Tell him what you said now.
Yeah.
No, so I had no idea. The name came up. I was like, okay, Google it, and I found one clip. I saw the clip. I'm like, hey, I like this guy. It was like, whoa, you gotta watch way more than that before you say that. And now y'all tell me the man is dead.
Yeah.
That's an emotional roller coaster.
Watch him now, he dead.
Dun, dun, dun.
Right. I just went. I went through it, man. That hurt.
It's okay, man. It's all right.
Rest in peace, Mr. Samuel.
Right. And that's the unfortunate part about the internet. You know what I mean? We don't.
So does Tanner. He looks sad too.
Hey man, that was lost.
Oh no, I'm not saying that he's unfortunately gone. I mean, he did a lot of positive things. He shed a lot of light on different values that women and men both have. But I mean, you got to take the stock and value in what he says to a certain T. Like your parents will tell you everything on the sun, but you have to nitpick those things out that your parents tell you and bring it to your own situation. But a lot of women felt so offended by a lot of these things, like y'all was saying, because he's just speaking the truth and telling you how it is, whether or not you want to hear it. It's just the truth. People go on Steve Harvey every single day, and you're listening to a fucking comedian tell you about yourself.
Strawberry letter. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Why would you write in saying dumb shit like that and not expecting a comical answer? He ain't no psychiatrist. He ain't gonna tell you exactly what you need to hear. He gonna tell you what the fuck he want to get crowd reaction. Yeah. To get people to laugh and to get people to tune in tomorrow for the next person that joins in and has something to say.
But you can do that. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. No, hold on. Everybody out the way. She is going to grace us with a word. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I want to ask Tanner. So, what did you think that he said? What did you resonate? Like, what resonated with you with Kevin Samuel? Like, what did you think? Tell me one thing that you agreed with. I just want to hear.
There's a lot of things that a lot of women that want a definite answer to, like the topic that y'all was talking about, whether or not, say for instance, how do you, like he rated her, how do you rate yourself? A lot of women will feel that they're higher than what they are, and a lot of women that are higher than what they are will rank themselves lower. He'll give you an average of what he thinks you are, and they might want to rate themselves very higher than that in any shape, form, or fashion, but when they have kids or don't have kids, have a great job, have a terrible job, situation that happened in the past, or his situation that's to come. But the way he's analyzing it from himself of his worth of where he's at for himself, not where they are and where they're going to go. You can be at the bottom of the barrel and have a goal that you want to get to, and they just hadn't got there yet. A lot of women didn't like the way he responded to it, because he's like, you're at this age, this is where you should be right now. And if you're not there, loser.
Hey, look.
That turned a lot of women off to that.
Well, I think I'm actually sorry. I'm gonna say this. I think that women were valuing themselves based on like their education and things like that, right? And so I think what women didn't want to hear was that you guys don't even care about that, because I think what it is Black women were doing was trying to get higher education and trying to get something for you guys to be like, oh, okay, well, there's a little bit more value to her than.
Wait a minute.
No, hold on. Wait, real quick. First of all, hold on. I finally got the point. We're gonna get to your question. Write it down. Hold it.
You just gonna stop her in the middle of her situation like
that?
Oh,
I'm sorry. I thought she was done.
No, let her.
No, I was done.
Okay, then, Tanner, give him the crap out of here. Just an agent of chaos, man. Dang, gummit. No, okay. So, okay. I think they got offended because they were taught to get offended at certain things. If you watch how the LG plus community works, and yeah, I'm not doing all the letters anymore. I've just decided that.
I like how he tries to analyze everything. He about to give us a white person's point of view in a second.
White person's point of view. I hate that. I hate that. I hate that.
So look.
I hate that with a passion. Go ahead, Rich. I gotta recover from that comment.
It's all good. What he's gonna do is
I'm gonna hide behind the logo.
He is gonna give you an analytical point of view. He's gonna give you the academic point of view.
There you
not
go.
The white folks' point of view.
Educational.
You know what I mean? Now I am gonna give you an urban point of view, and if you want to say a nigga's point of view,
no, you say nigga. Like you might as well just say
urban, right? Come on, now we being politically correct.
That's my nigga right
That's the name of
nigga
the
point of view.
Let's
point of view.
That's my nigga right there. Rich don't keep a buck. That's my nigga right there.
What does that say? Urban academia. We always try to get the show name out there and explain how it came to be. Okay. And you're right. I love that breakdown. I love that breakdown because it's not a white point of view.
That's right.
It's a very academic point of view.
That's right.
Okay.
And what I'm saying is what we miss is that we are taught certain things. You listen to a country song, which I often frequent. Yeah, see, white.
We in Tennessee, my boy.
You know, so okay, you listen to a country song.
My tractor sexy.
She think my tractor sexy.
You understand?
Yeah. We didn't practice that. I swear. I had that song in mind. We did not practice that. What do we hear on our side? No, I don't want no scrubs. Scrub is a guy that can't give. Come on, man. What y'all missed about that Samuel statement was that white men, average white men, are valued by their white counterparts, and it's the same way in
She
Europe.
like his tractor.
She likes
that's
his
enough.
Tractor. She think my
ain't never heard
shirt,
nobody in
no
none of them
shoes,
songs talking about this
it's
nigga
okay
sexy
with me
at his lowest.
What type of women are we talking about here?
Get him out of here. Get him out of here.
The one that think
Get
you
him out of
sexy
here.
at your lowest.
Bring Tanner back in. Come on, Tanner.
No, so hold on. Let me say it again.
What type of women are we talking about?
Let me say it again. In white and European and Asian communities, in Indian, Indian, right? In those communities, average is really good, right? The above average, for them, there are a lot of doctors and stuff involved in certain communities, but average.
Oh, that is average over there.
Average is valued.
Yeah.
Well, they're not average, but they're average for them. Like if you hear any of my Indian friends when we were at Vandy Talk, that's man, average. I'm here getting my third doctorate degree, and my mom is on me. Like what? Why? Because my frapping cousin has 17. You know what I mean? So when I say a doctor, one doctorate, that's it. That's all you got. You're not working hard enough. in some cultures.
That's true.
So understand what he's saying. They got mad because they were taught to get mad at that, right? He said average, but in the very next breath, he said that in those communities, average is valued. Valued. But in our community, we're taught, no. That's Sunday best thing. We're taught to look at, what does she look like? What are her toes like? Is she keep her toes and her hair done? Meanwhile, these people over here walking barefoot in the daggum grass, having a good time.
Yeah, you're right.
So that's the academic version, or at least how I see it. Go ahead, Mr. Rich. I'm gonna be quiet over here.
But you're right. You're right. But it is what it is, right? When you ain't got shit, you fake. You show. You do. You know what I mean? When I've been through a lot of different shit in my life. I wish you could look at my motherfucking eyes and know exactly what it is that I'm talking about. But I've seen a lot of different things. You know what I mean? So I understand this whole peacocking thing, right? I'll tell you a story, and the only other person who know what I'm talking about is the nigga that was sitting in the car with me. So we sitting in the car. I got about 5,000-10,000 in my pocket, and I pull it out and I look at him, and we talking about what we're gonna do. And he got a little money as well. He looks at me and he says, "Why you got all that money in your pocket?" At that time, when he said that, I felt like stupid because I'm looking at him like, "Why are you questioning me about having money? I'm only trying to have this much money in my pocket because I thought that's what we was doing. I thought that's what we was." So he looked at me and he said, "Nigga, everybody know we got money already. What you carrying it all around for, fool?" You know. At that moment, instantly, new blinders off, you know what I mean? Like everything changed. But that happened 17 times. You know what I mean? In that year.
Sunk in.
Gotta fall and bump your head a couple times.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah,
I love it. When we all get quiet, I feel like we're all on the same page. And we all
we all
that was
dope.
Yeah. But what I would say, like what I rounded this all up when it came to this whole Kevin Samuels thing, to kind of round that up, like when we had the last show with Can You Blame Me?
Yeah,
right. Can You Blame Me? I kind of rounded it off like this. It's true. You know, a lot of these things can be subjective, but we do have to admit that there's some generality in some of these things. But we shouldn't let this detour what we're trying to do as Black people in the first place.
Right.
You know, we shouldn't stress ourselves to be like, you know, I can't date you because you did. Okay, cool. Just don't deal with it then. That we don't have time to talk about how big or fat she is or how skinny she is or how ugly is. Somebody gonna like her, and at the end of the day, and whoever likes her, I hope they have a prosperous life, and I hope y'all build a great family to build a better Black people. You know, at the end of the day. Now, I do acknowledge that we do have preferences and stuff like that. So it's like, yeah, don't break your neck to try to force somebody to like you. Don't break your neck for somebody that don't know nothing about you. You feel what I'm saying? Like they don't care.
I like sweet and sour sauce sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes you want a little barbecue sauce. You know what I mean? That's just what it is. It's just
that's some syrup, huh?
Yeah.
Oh right, syrup and cupcake batter. And
I like those smells.
He's just a
I
foodie.
like
He's just
those
a
smells.
That's it. We gotta focus on. I feel like we should. And somebody made this point. This makes sense too. Like, you know, when I heard Jamie say something about like how a man speaks to a woman, you know, that really does mean a lot. Like your point of view is what I say, how you present it, how you say it. The players will say something so slick to a woman's ear, they don't even know they're being degraded. But he's saying the sweetest thing, and she, yes, daddy, in it all. Yes, daddy, what you need? You just talk to me like, yeah, let me tell you a little something. What I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna.
It's the
you know what I mean?
Right? Yeah,
you gotta like. I'm gonna be real. If you're really trying to talk some sense to a Black woman, or like Kevin's doing, you gotta R&B it. That's what I call it. You gotta R&B it, man. You gotta be smooth with your words, and because we're sensitive. Black people are sensitive anyway, man.
When you said R&B it, I heard something, right? Something came to mind. But what R&B it should really stand for is really be it, my boy. So
wow.
You gotta R&B and you gotta really be it. So don't say no bullshit.
Like that.
Just don't say no bullshit. See that my nigga Kevin Samuels, you know, when I do look at him and I do watch him, he has that arrogance and he has that confidence based off of the work that he's put in. See, if you talk to me, I'm changing my life right now, right? I am reformed. I am Black men out here in America. We getting it. We changing our lives. We turning into better people, better fathers, better parents, all of these things, right? But I was out here just like y'all. You know what I mean? Y'all, whoever, you know who you are when I talk to you, right? I'm learning. you learn it with me. You know what I mean? And we change as we learn. You know, there was a time that you couldn't tell me shit. You couldn't tell me shit, and I thought I knew everything.
Talk
now
heavy.
I'm learning I don't know much. I don't know much. You know what I mean? I knew a lot about what I knew about. You understand? And if you needed help in that area, I was somebody you might need to talk to. You don't need to, you might not want to do this, or this if you don't know nothing about that without talking to somebody who does. You understand? Some of these things I won't say the words. If you understand what I mean, and you do. If you don't, you don't. It is what it is. You know.
But what I will say about that, like, you nailed it with that really big. Because I was literally about to say, like, there are plenty of goofy dudes, because I'm one of them, who got a really high quality wife who I would consider above my, pay grade, right?
Okay.
But that's because I, like Rich, like, I had this weird moment of like, no, I'm not gonna try to be anybody other than myself. Take it or leave it, that gummit. Like I've gotten a little surly in my old age, right?
Yeah.
But this idea of like
said surly.
Yeah, man. A little surly in my old age, man. Someone said something about I was
Jack.
in a pool. Yeah. Hey, Slim, you know what I'm saying? No.
All right.
But like this idea that like I'm just gonna do stuff that makes me laugh, makes me think, makes me cry, makes me better.
That's it.
Like, and I'm not gonna worry about what people think. We were just talking before the show about like, I was kowtowing at first, and then I said frap all that, and now I am who I am, and boom, success follows because people are drawn to authenticity. So even if you're trying to be this, like some people can do really, really well being the bad guy, right?
That's it.
But if you fake it, no, people know it, they feel it, they see it.
What's the example we use with Gales all the time? Gail says, "What the frap all the time," right? Because cursing just ain't, you know what I mean? Now me, I'll take you down through there. I'm talking about I'll take you on an excursion, my boy. But what I'm trying to do is we're trying to monetize, right? We're trying to do a little better, you know what I mean? I'm learning, I'm figuring this thing out. But like I said, I'll take you down through there if I need to. But everybody different, you know what I mean? And if that's not your thing, don't do that. Don't try to appease other people. Don't try to be other people. Don't try to appeal to other people. Appeal to you. If you can appeal to you, oh man, things will work out so much better on the back end. I promise you.
Right, man.
Learn to appeal to yourself.
But you have to ask those tough questions, those hard questions, right? And thank you very much, Mr. Tanner, for joining us. Any last words or comments? Anything else that's bothering you, that gummit?
I'm cool.
One more time. Tanner talk.
I'm chilling before it's time for me to go to work.
I got you.
Oh, appreciate it.
I go to work. Tell him, my boy.
Look, that's what I'm talking about. That man got a job, a J-O-B.
My boy.
Right? But I think what we have to find it, like, I love that Rich is saying that we're learning, right? And like, hey, hit me up if y'all need to leave. I know sometimes we get long-winded.
No, we're trying to send you something.
Oh, okay, cool.
Good.
Yeah, no, don't worry. We're gonna get to this right here. I've got it loaded in my back pocket. Yeah.
Okay, well, never mind. You already got it.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, is that what you said? Look at that. Great minds, man. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. I'm trying to find a less lazy segue than just popping it up on the screen. But
yeah,
I think as we talk about we're learning, right? We look at the America like it's been here forever. Like we're the young teenage country.
That's right.
Right. Which means black people who came up in this country are a very, very young toddler group of people.
Right.
That's right.
We're learning. And as soon as we
go.
stop, pointing at the, for lack of a better word, no pun intended, pointing the gun at each other. Right. Pointing the finger at each other. I should have said finger. That was a lot better. It's more sensitive. Appreciate that. No, but until we stop pointing the finger and nitpicking on all these things that are based on, media, movies, and songs, that all the people who we could probably quote unquote call our enemies are putting out there. Yeah. They have control over Hollywood. They have control over our own music now. Right? We're desperately trying to get it back as we, get our coats pulled to how the game actually works. But we're learning. So if they would have just followed that up with a question, are you saying I'm just an average person? He would have been like, no, I'm saying you said you're an average person. So, okay, here's what an average person should expect. Right. And if they don't like that, they need to upgrade. And if they want better, you got to do better.
Right.
That's it.
The way you said it sounds better, but he said the same thing you said, but he was like, it was the tone that he
and I thought what might have been a little hard, just a little, be real, like,
when he asked for a woman's weight and size and stuff like that. Like, okay, cool. But then after they said you hear the background music. You know,
but it is
like
it is what it is, right? So if I'm talking about my former life, if I'm talking about my former life, and you say, "Hey, I want to do this, I want to do that," and I say, "Well, what you do? Bring me a little tiny." You gonna hear that music, nigga. If you're talking to me about some big, what T.I. say, big shit popping. If you're not talking to me about, you know what I mean, don't call me with that shit. I don't want to hear.
The thing. When
you
they call,
think
like,
you're doing something, right?
Yeah.
I don't give a shit what you talking about. You call me talking about this $200, $500. Shut the fuck up. I got shit to do today, and it don't include the little shit you think is important. Right.
Yeah.
And that's the attitude that Kevin Samuels was bringing to the table, right? Because he had put in that work to speak the way that he was speaking, right? That's like your child talking to you about the phones in the house and this and that. You can't tell me nothing. I paid to put this in here. That's when the attitude and the tone changes, right?
Yeah.
Well, you know, you're talking to a man that put that work in. Is that the tone gonna be different?
Even with Kevin Samuels, he used to be overweight. If you look at some of his past 5-10 years ago, he wasn't as dapper as he was. He got himself together. He got in the gym.
Put that work in.
Started working out.
That working.
Getting his money up. Changing. Got a different haircut. Got better glasses. Like, all right, I don't look like I did 10 years ago. If I can upgrade, what you gonna do? Like, can you match me? Like,
so he's coming from a place of
get off the pot, my boy. Yeah,
he's coming from a place of experience. And as the saying goes, if you're gonna talk about anything, you better know a lot about it. If you're gonna talk a little bit about anything, you better know a lot about it.
And he was educated. He was pretty researched, man. He'll pull up the stats on you, and he'll give you the source.
Man, oh man, I can't believe he died. Every time you say something slick that he says, I'm like, dang, I can't even ask him no live questions.
Don't stop pointing that out, man. Stop pointing that out. We're trying to forget that you just didn't.
I know.
You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, I think out loud. I think out loud. But you're right. You're my arbiter of what I should be saying.
Don't just keep reminding people that you don't know what the hell's going on.
I can't believe
outside.
I didn't know who the family was,
just
man.
Slide by that. Yeah.
Right. You're right. But yeah, I sure did not know that he existed until today. And then you see, I'm doing the thing here, right? I'm catching a bit. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Like you talking about, Rich. No, so like all right, man. Look. Let's just talk to us about Juneteenth. What is Juneteenth? Now, okay, first of all, I do know what that is, but I'm saying for the people who may not.
Of course.
I know, just messing.
Okay, just making sure. What is Juneteenth?
Well, first to say, as y'all see that right there, we do have an event in Tullahoma, Tennessee, June the 18th, man, 2022, from 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. called Shattered Chains. Yes, Chulo right there, man. Go ahead and be an extension of the flyer right now. You feel what I mean? And it'll be at our historic CD Stamps, aka the Davidson Academy, which was Tullahoma's first black school. At that time that it was in business. It actually ended in 1964. It started in 1898, but it still remains, and we've turned it into a community center. And the city allowed us, the city allowed us and wrote it off for us to throw this event for the first time, since it's now a federal holiday. We're very excited about it. We teamed up with Parks and Rec. Shout out to a couple of our councilmen who's helped us with some of the paperwork and sponsorship. This is going to be a great event, man. Is what we call, crowned it, edutainment. Get a little bit of education and a little bit of entertainment. We're going to have, music. We're going to have, poetry, spoken word, motivational speakers. We're going to have black art. We're going to have scavenger hunts and relays for the kids. We're going to have a basketball tournament, which we call Hoop Dreams for Kings and Queens. Yeah. That's going to be earlier that day. Yeah. Shout out to Monica Blake. Monica Blake Beasley, and Thomas Davis, TT. They're going to be orchestrating that on the blacktop, our newly renovated blacktop. You know what I'm saying? That we just got dedicated to a historical family here. So
because Royce ranted.
It's all good. I ran my mouth and they fixed something they hadn't fixed in 50 years, so it's all good. But I definitely got to give a shout out to Rupert Blackwell who gave me the ear, and I told her what was needed, and she took upon herself to raise over $25,000 to get our courts fixed in our black communities. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it really means a lot to us, being that we're a small town, 20,000 people, but when something happens like that, that makes history. So we're glad to be a part of that. and she can explain the sponsorships and everything. You know what I'm saying? Things been going on.
Okay, so we're gonna have like community services that day. So on top of you having like the edutainment part of it, you can actually walk in and change your life, right? So you can get a job, you can get housing, you can get medical services, and some parts like you'll be able to sign up for insurance. The health department is going to be there, and they're actually providing all of the drinks and snacks that day. So you can get financial advice, like, so our people be doing payday loans. Like, we want to keep it real. We usually are from paycheck to paycheck, or we hit that payday loan and we think it's a thing. So I've got somebody coming to help get our people out of that.
GNC sponsored.
Oh yeah, GNC sponsored. Mm-hmm.
And yes, when we say Randstad, they are hiring on site Black people.
Whoo.
Yeah.
On site.
Man.
So you don't act like you didn't hear what he said. Get your ass down there. Yeah.
Right. I want to hear.
Yeah, I know. That's
I
what I'm saying. We got to make. We're making history first and foremost. You're gonna learn some history. You're gonna get some entertainment, and you're gonna go out there and you're gonna leave with a job.
To work.
What?
That's right.
So here's the thing, too, like, part of our mission is to make sure that Black men, but just men in general, know that they need to be in the home. Like, they're valued. They are the leader. Like, we need them. So because it's Father's Day weekend as well, all of our speakers are Black men. And we're gearing it towards men, period. So, normally in our thing, we're like, oh, we can't find a job. We can't do this. But if you just come to this event on the 18th, we probably could solve majority of your problems that day. And then you could feel like the leader again. You know what I'm saying?
Get your ass up before 3:00 and get down there, man.
Get down there.
That's it. And it's from 12 to 5. You can do your Bonnaroo after that. You know what I'm saying? You can play a little basketball before it. And we're trying to get the police to come and do a little 3-on-3 to break the monotony in the hood. You feel what I'm saying? So like we really trying to connect the people. But let's go back to the part, my guy, that we were talking about. I don't know if we talked about before we went on or when we started. Like when we were saying, I want to speak about the stresses real quick of mental health, but even just with throwing an event. But first, it's called Shattered Chains. Yeah. We called it Shattered Chains because, well, at first I said broken chains, right? Or chains loose or something. Yeah. And then she came up, she was like, well, why don't we call it Shattered Chains? I was like, well, why? She was like, well, a broken chain, you can just weld it back together. It's cool. But then when you shatter a chain,
got it.
You cannot put the pieces symmetrically back. It will not be the same anymore. It won't be like it was. And it was inspired from Psalms 107 that, mentally, we may think that we have broken the chains, but some of us are still enslaved in the mind, and we have to shatter those things. But we can't really do what he can do in our lives to elevate us to that next level of where we know that we should be as Black people. And we're focusing on the Black family and Black men because, once again, mental health is really serious for the Black man. I just did a TED Talk a month ago about child molestation. I was molested by the same sex for 5 years at the age of 7. And to talk in front of all those white people, I wanted to blow their mind because I wanted to clear the stereotype of what they thought a Black man was.
No, I like that.
In this small town, I wanted to crush that stereotype that things like this happen in our homes too. We've been touched by uncle or a cousin or a cat down the street. You know what I'm saying? Right. And it took me a lot to really talk about that. I talked about it on bits and pieces on my show, but to talk about it in front of a crowd, yes, there were tears because it took me back. But at the same time, like I said, I wanted to crush that stereotype and to let Black men know, hey, ain't nobody gonna talk about you if that's happened to you, and if they do, they need their ass beat. Because this, real talk. Because this is something serious. This is something that changes a man's life. Absolutely. Even if you've only been touched one time. I was touched multiple times in 5 years by a teenager. You feel what I'm saying? And so that affects a Black man's mental, even as an adult. So to even talk about it, you know what I mean, is a big thing. So to bring this all in together, we have to shatter those mental chains that we have as Black men. We can't be afraid to speak about these things that hurt us and go seek help. You know what I mean? But not to forget to leave God. Don't leave God out of that picture, because a lot of this stuff we can't do alone. Some of this stuff that we need with mental health needs the divine power of God in order to get through that, because we have a lot of enemies against us at the end of the day. You feel what I'm saying? And that's the theme of the situation right there. You know what I mean? It's deeper than Juneteenth. It's remembering the past, but also where are we going in the future, so we don't have to repeat any of this shit.
Right.
You know?
And that's really where Beyond Strength comes from too.
That's where Beyond Strength comes from.
So it kind of all ties in together.
Yeah, pretty much, man. Pretty much. And so for those who don't know what Juneteenth is for, you know, for the audience.
Wait,
right?
no. Hang on. We can't. Yeah. That was a lot. That was a lot, sir. That was a lot. Look, I was on here writing a couple of jokes.
Like all of it. He's over there taking notes.
Oh, okay.
I had jokes lined up like, sound like some white stuff. He got the government involved. Invite the police to a basketball game. I can't wait to tear this dude up. And then I was touched several times.
Hit me with it.
But two things I need to go back on. One, the link to your TED Talks. I very much want to get my hands on that, and we can get it to the audience later if you can't get it now, and we can pop it up now if you can.
Okay. I know they're in now. They've only uploaded half of ours. I know they're going through a process where they're reconstructing my bio and description. So when mine comes up, like, I'll make sure I shoot you the link. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'll definitely shoot you the ones that we already have up. One in particular, I really want you to see. You know what I'm saying? But when that gets loaded up, you know, I'll make sure I get that to you, man. Real talk.
The other thing I wanted was that verse from Psalm. You said it was based off of Psalm what?
107.
Be Psalms 107.
And you should read it. It's gonna blow your mind a little bit too, because the breakdown actually tells a story of slavery and how we ended up in those conditions. So it's
biblical.
Yeah, very biblical. And it tells us how to get out of it. But you know, if we don't read it, we don't know, right?
The niggas got to read it collectively as a whole to get out of it. Is that
right? No. Everybody stop. No. I got to read it. Right. They have to read
just you?
Yes.
No. I'm still going. Take them. Get them off. So look what I'm saying. I got to read it. You too, you have to read it. Rich should read it. We're the ones with the microphones. This man is a writer. Like, you can tell, like, the idea that the Bible has withstood this collection, this library of stories has withstood over 2,000 years.
Right.
Like, should tell you the state power, like, why, how?
It should tell you something. The last time you heard a Milli Vanilli song?
I mean, technically never when you think about it.
Yeah. Well, okay. Yeah.
I digress. You got it.
Sure, I digress. Look at him. Look at us affect each other. But what I'm saying is, like, we have to educate ourselves and then find abnormal ways to educate others. Hence the TV shows, you know, Black AF, like, please, you know, little things like that.
Right.
And we got to keep laying out the breadcrumbs, planting the seed, let God give the increase, but keep doing the work of educating ourselves. And like I said, if you're going to talk a little bit about something, you better know a lot about it.
Right.
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 But that's a heck of a story, man. I like these. Okay, so all right, so Juneteenth, like no. You know, this idea of mental health and what you went through and what so many other people went through. Absolutely. The biggest thing I got out of that, right? The biggest thing I got out of that is you finding a way to make them see that it happens everywhere.
That's right.
Right? Because the opposite is probably more true. Like, case in point, you have Maya Angelou, right? In her book, Letter to My Daughters. When she's talking about her sexual abuse, right? Being sexually abused. Right. And she told her parents. And her parents got the town people together to kill this dude, to beat him to death. Okay, why did they not call the police? Because we know what the police do.
Right.
They're worthless. Right? Shouts out to police, you know, Officer Mike is on the show. Appreciate you. Right. So, but I'm just saying, like, especially at that time, beating them to death, and it scared her what her words could do.
Yeah.
So she's a child who refused to speak for I don't know how long, at least a year.
Right.
Just flat like, no, these words are powerful. I can't just go throwing any old word around. I just cost a man his life.
Yeah.
Like putting her own hurt and pain aside. But if it's true for that, it's true for the other thing. But we black people, especially, when Malcolm X says that the black woman is the most unprotected person in America, the most unprotected group in America, right? Because the idea that the black women are afraid to call the police when they get beat because it may result in their man's or the father of their children's death.
Right.
So they keep quiet and they keep getting abused. My man down there got sexually abused, and it don't happen to boys. Oh, you should just fall him off, man. I'd have fallen him off. Who is he going to tell?
Right.
Who is he going to talk to?
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that now in your maturity, you're saying, you know what? I am going to talk about it, and not just to my people, but to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Let us know, see that pain, man. I think that's powerful. So when y'all come up with shattered chains and all this, Jamie, I specifically want to ask you, how do you support him through this pain? How do you help him to, how do we say it, Rich? Extract the wisdom and leave the pain behind?
It's not easy, right? Like I mean, so I've been through a lot of things, and I think, as you can know, I'm an analytical person per se. You know what I'm saying? I don't think I've gotten it right completely in the situation because it's more complex. Perfect. Right? Because as a friend, you know what I'm saying? I try to separate those situations, but then it still lingers in there. So, I mean, he said he was an extra introvert, right? Okay, so the thing that I actually hated the most was that he did not say anything. So initially I forced him to say something. Now that backfired on me. You feel me?
He started saying everything. He started ranting. Roy started ranting.
That backfired on me. But when I take away that girlfriend part, as a friend, I'm really proud of him. You know what I'm saying? That he has been able to actually speak his thoughts and not lose his mind anymore. Because I felt like he wasn't saying anything he was talking, but not talking of value. You get what I'm saying? Just talking to fill space.
Yeah, watch the Webby interviews. You know exactly what.
Leave Webby alone. Free my dude.
Sorry.
But I will say that you have to, even as the woman or just being a supporter, you have to take time to support yourself too, because it will be a lot. Because it's an emotional thing that, trauma, and depending on how bad it is, it changes the perspective. Or Absolutely. Just if we don't deal with the anger part of it, or we don't know how to express ourselves, period, it just comes out wrong. You know what I'm saying? My son just got a little feelings hurt. You get what I'm saying? And so I had to walk him through all the emotions. You feel me? All of them. And then I had to cuss him out and tell him, nigga, get up, because we're not doing this no more. You know what I'm saying? But not everybody does that. Normally we go through that ourselves. I told him, I was like, man, my first breakup, I didn't tell my mom. You know what I'm saying? I just went through it. And then that motivated me to do this and do that and all of this type of stuff. But I never really processed.
Never learned how to deal with those emotions, right? So understand that the same thing that we still teaching, we gotta explain these things, right?
Right.
So the nigga get up. See, there's you gotta get up. But I still got to explain that to you, though. Explain to you why you got to get up and what the costs are if you don't. You know what I mean? I can't just say, nigga, get up. I got to give it all to you. You know what I mean?
In old white man terms, there's something on the other side when you lean into pain and responsibility.
Right.
Right. There's something to understand that you're gonna
pull
have to go
yourself
through.
Up by your bootstraps.
Hey, man, I hate that with a passion, but yeah. There's a little truth.
In certain situations, that gets on my nerves. Yeah.
When they tell you hey, man, you could be a billionaire tomorrow if you pull yourself up. No, not with your foot on my neck.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Right. But I think as people, if we just really listen to each other without having to try and respond, and then like really just process. And if you angry, be angry. You know what I'm saying? Like I let the kids, you know, do what they do. I let them go through. You know what I'm saying? Then I had to put them in check. Like I don't know who he was talking to like that, but we're not doing that ever again. But I let them have their moments. You get what I'm saying? So they can.
That's what I need to work on. Like I go straight into the analytical or the rage. So I am both you and Royce roll into one ginormous
Man,
human.
that'll be that's the equivalent of Dragon Ball Z. You're sitting there just powering up, and then you're analyzing. I can't believe that he's got more power than me.
That's what Roy says about
Niggas
this.
a box of chocolates, man.
Commercial break. 30 minutes later, he
It's
finally
funny you said that. It's funny you said that, Rich. Like a box of chocolates. Like so, my girls. One of the many different. I like to mix it up. Okay. So when they got in trouble, one of the things I did was you got to watch one of my old school movies that I enjoyed and got something from, and there will be a quiz afterwards. That gummit, right?
Yeah.
And so we watched back to back. Lean on Me.
Okay. Okay.
And
you smoke crack, don't you? That's right.
Oh, that scene. Oh, Rich. Oh, Rich. My
Jump.
goodness. When they were
Jump
just
there,
like,
Sams. Jump, Sams.
Woo. Right, jump. You're killing yourself. Just slower. You know,
right.
Expeditious. It was like, ooh, I like that word. Like, yeah, look at them learning. Yeah.
Shout out to ya.
Right.
Yeah.
But the idea of just being okay with pushing your kids to a point, right? Sometimes letting them have their moment. Like there are times where I'll literally pretend to just rant out loud to myself, especially on, oh man, you talk about a captive audience. When I get them in a car ride to Scoop, there's nowhere you can go. Hey, you don't seem like you listen. Give me them headphones. Give me your phone. Let's talk for a little bit. We got some time, right? Right? You ain't got nowhere to be. No one can use the bathroom because the bathroom is their favorite, right? Oh, I need the bathroom. Because
Right.
you know, you gotta respect human rights, right? I can't have her just standing here peeing herself. Okay, but we on the way to school, right? So there are times where
all week.
yeah,
Right.
oh man, I'll be waiting. Well, I can't wait. Yeah, we're gonna go over this chapter of your life and this chapter. But I also try to, I'm working on that and I try to do a lot of listening. And as I've grown with them and learned from them, like what they've taught me is to, man, you gotta shut up and listen sometimes.
Yeah.
Right. But I think what we're missing is what a lot of the world is missing right now, which first of all, we're operating from a place of fear. Right. The idea that like if I say the wrong thing, my whole life is gonna end. Like we gotta get rid of that as soon as humanly possible.
Yeah.
This is why I tell my boy Rich down there, like, man, say what you want to say. This is the time. We need to figure out an audience that's gonna ride or die with us no matter what. So when these other fair weather fans jump on the bandwagon, we say something they don't like, it's not gonna hurt us or our families.
And it's good to have a disclaimer too. Now, just hitting like that disclaimer for that target audience. Because look, I don't know how many times I've had what's the word? Try to reorganize my target audience. I'm actually in the process of doing that again because this Facebook situation. Well, that's another thing. But like,
Facebook.
There's so many regulations to that. But like, I'm gonna have to shift on over to YouTube where all my videos are uploaded on there too. It was just like a dump place on the live, but bro, it's like I spent so much time trying to, like please everybody and try to make them happy, and then like in my head I'm like boiling because I really be wanting to like
when my
nigga my shit.
When my nigga Ricky Bobby say with all due respect, you Ricky Bobby's with all due respect, and then he go in and start talking that shit. That's how we do it over here. We give with all due respect first.
What did 21 Savage said? I disrespect you respectfully. You know what I mean?
That's it. That's it.
Yes, sir.
What'd you say?
Sophisticated ignorance, right?
Oh, okay.
You're gonna have to deal with what I'm doing.
But yeah, man, now it's just to the point to where it's like, look, you're gonna develop your target audience without even trying. Just keep doing you, and then see how many stick. And that's at the end of the day, because what I'm finding out now is like, dang, I wish I would have started off with the mentality you're thinking now. You know what I'm saying? Because Zilla, like, I would have saved myself a lot of stress. Yeah. I probably wouldn't have been reported as much as been happening lately. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because people know what they coming to get instead of the surprise. You know what I mean?
because they are surprised. Yeah,
they were definitely surprised of my switch up. You know,
but it's really not a switch
it's not
up.
a switch up. That's just how I really felt.
Yeah.
I was just trying to. I just
came switch up for them.
Yeah, I just
on
came
TV,
back to school, college. You know what I mean? They ain't seen Royce in 20 years. The last time they saw Royce, he got a track scholarship and he's doing music. They didn't think he was gonna come back and start.
That sound like Rich. Who the fuck does that sound like? We had an old classmate on last week, right? She's now an author, mother. Right. She's like, where do you get all this personality, kicking people off the show and talking? No, like, yeah, like,
ain't that crazy?
And I told her, like, I just have always been. So I went through this thing where I just did exactly what I was told. Me and Rich talk about this often. I was that kid that you tell me to do this. Oh, yes, sir. No, sir. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. Everybody. Teachers love me. Why? Because I was basically a little butler. You know, whatever you want me to do, I got you. And I did that to a point, and then it just all like caved in, and like people started like talking crazy. I was like, well, what was all that for? What was all that for? So of course I overcorrected, where I was publicly cursing and drinking and smoking and just doing whatever I felt like, the exact opposite of everything I've done. And
I
then
never heard
you know,
call yourself a butler publicly.
no. I can't think of a word for lack of a better word. There. That's how you cover yourself, right? Like, I don't know. What would you say I was to Miss Hickney? Hey, would you go grab those papers for me? Yes, ma'am. That sounds like a butler to me.
Just teacher's pet, man. That's what you call
pet.
it.
That's the one. There you go.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Like
Teacher's pet. Teacher's pet, mama's pet, coach's pet. Like, I literally got a scholarship to play football at Vanderbilt. I mean, I did okay academically, right? And I was okay athletically, but it was really like the word on me was he's coachable.
Yeah.
Coachable. Okay, so yeah, all I'm saying is, I see you, Rich. Look at him. All I'm saying is, I started off one way, and then that didn't work, so I went the complete opposite way, and then worked myself back to the middle where I am now, where I'll sit and listen, and I'll help anybody who's trying to help themselves. But step over that line, and you're gonna see the other side too.
Right.
So I'm more versatile, right? So this is what I'm saying that we have to start doing with our conversations, right? Don't be so quick to counsel someone. Don't be so quick to put someone in the box.
That's it.
Yeah. Now, anywho, last word, well, not last word, that goes to Mr. Rich, but thank you so much for being on. I want y'all to go ahead and get the last promos and stuff on. Look, we try to keep it to 45 to an hour, and we're approaching 2 hours.
We're rolling, man. It happens.
No, sorry.
Yeah, man.
It's all good. Tell the people where we can find you so we can get some more of this content.
Yes, please.
Yeah, well, as far as my show, Royce's Rant, as it says on there, you can type that, you can Google that, you can find it on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. On all streaming podcasts, Spotify to Anchor to Apple Music to everywhere, man. Just Google Royce's Rant. You can see our work. You can see a lot of our film work and stuff we've done too. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's where you can find me, man. I got plenty more coming, man. I'm taking a little hiatus until season 6, just to kind of reconstruct a few things, work on that target audience like we were talking about. And just trying to, try to get more involved, try to get back more involved with like the people who listen. Because at first when we started, I started off with a bunch of call-ins and stuff like that, you know what I mean? And it was real. I liked the way the people were interacting. And then, once, like I told you before, once you kind of get some fire under your wing and you start having these special guests and you forget about the people sometimes, to be honest, you know what I mean? And I kind of want to get back to that because that's what's going to allow me and feel more comfortable with speaking my mind without having to worry about the politics and stuff like that, So,
that's it.
But yeah, just Google that, you guys, you know what I'm saying? And Juneteenth, we having our first Juneteenth officially, June the 18th, the CD Stamps, 12 to 5 p.m. alongside with a 3-on-3 basketball tournament. In that morning, starting at 8 a.m., we have officially started putting out flyers for the 3-on-3 also. Jesus, just check it out. You can check it out on the Beyond Strength page, but you can also type in Shattered Chains and and it'll pop up too, and you'll see that. And I'm gonna let you close you up.
Oh, I mean,
come on. No. You've been hired too long. Let's go.
Just add a .com to her name if you want to check out our website.
JaysButter.com, and then I have @JaysButter, and then we do event planning for community stuff. So I mean, really, there's really nothing that I don't do, to be honest.
She's an event coordinator. She's an event coordinator. She's an entrepreneur. She works for herself. She don't work for nobody else. You know what I'm saying? She's she's dope at what she does. She's an always good, great person. She's a God-fearing person. She's very responsible, very well put together, very organized. So like, if y'all need her to organize an event, hey man, you gotta holler at her. You know what I'm saying? And you're gonna pay for what you get because she brings quality to the situation. You can so respect that. That's how we're gonna get rich as black people. Pay them what they worth. And that butter is creamy. I'm telling you, it's what grew up my beard and fill in those spots that weren't there, man. That Jay's butter.
Man. What I feel like he talking about me, man. That's just me being subconscious.
If you need it, you gotta get it, my boy.
He's like, he was very specific.
I'm a person with no hair, like, so she keep my stuff. She keep my stuff smooth. You know what I mean? Keep my skin smooth. We got the wash, the 3-in-1 body wash. She got the elixir for the women and to keep the curls in, and then she got the beard oil. You know, make sure everything. But yeah, her beard oil actually filled in the gap that wasn't here in my beard.
Wow.
Y'all saw all the pictures
exactly right on the corner of my mouth too, right there.
Still having all kinds
I just been letting it grow, and I'll cut it probably in another month or two. I'm just excited to see it grow. I'm like, oh man, it's there. I don't want to cut it yet. So, but this stuff really stretches out to about right here. You know what I mean?
It's got a nice size.
Yeah. So, jaysbutter.com. You feel me? She being
I'm gonna have to click that link right there, people. No matter where you're viewing this at, click that link right there. Because look, let me tell you, thank y'all so much for coming on. Any more promos or anything before you go?
Yes, one more promo, and it's in general. Blackpeople.com. That's not a website. It might be, but it's not the one you think it is. What I mean is, we have to be involved with ourselves. Before we start blaming the white man, which we all seem to do, and that's cool. We've heard that narrative before, but has that done anything for us? What are things we can do as the black community that we know that we can do, and that what we're educated about? Let's just do it. You know what I mean? Let's use what we have under the Constitution, what we're allowed to do in this. Let's just do it. Anything else, we can just do ourselves. Right. You know, people forget that we can have sovereignty. But that's a whole nother situation. That takes a village, you know what I mean? But like, if we can just change the mentality that the white man is against us, okay, we know that. But what is it that we have available? What sources do we have? What are we not doing as far as communication-wise, as teaming up as black people and starting up our own stuff and starting up our own businesses? Like, we got to get that first. That's my final say. So, like, black people, unite, unite. Let's stop killing each other. I got my Negroes in the hood talking about that's all I know. My brother, that's all you want to know.
Right. Or just X the competition out. Like everybody, something that one of our speakers said, he said, imagine a puzzle, right? You put the puzzle together and you're missing that one piece. You feel me? And he's like, when you look at the puzzle, you're going to focus on the one piece that's missing, right? And the reason why we don't have that one piece or those people in places that we needed to is because everybody's looking at somebody else and saying, I want to do what they're doing, right? Rather than doing what God created you for. And so we need everybody to get in the rightful place so we can start piecing this stuff together. Because if we don't, we're just gonna keep talking about it in circles and we'll never do anything about it.
That's it. You're absolutely right. And you know what I mean? If you can't spell, nigga, but if you can't spell my book, you can't have you in that.
Don't go anywhere. That Voltron talked about the Bible all in one sitting. Sir, we have to speak more. Thank you all for joining us, man. Look. Oh my, this is a good one. So before we're going to something about not blaming.
You need them by the expectation that all of us are doomed to failure. My motto is simple. If you do not succeed in life, I don't want you to blame your parents. I don't want you to blame the white man. I want you to blame yourselves. The responsibility is yours.
All right, man. I got back into the movie. But anyway, man, thanks to our guests. Go check them out at Royce's Rant. You can find them right there on Instagram and across all platforms wherever you get your podcast. And then Jay is Butter. And click that link right there. Mr. Rich, final word as usual, my man.
You know what, really? You heard what Joe Clark said. It ain't a lot for me to say after that, man. You know what I mean? Joe Clark ain't somebody I want to talk behind, to be honest. It just is what it is. But shout out to our guests. We enjoyed having you. Y'all do us a favor. Go check them out. Check out those links that we dropped. Check out their podcast. Show them some support on their website as well. Come back, holler at us. Yes, thank you. Holler at us again next weekend, same place, same time, Urban Academia. We will be here. We love you guys. We have fun with you. Once again, remember, common sense is not common. But I'm learning that other things are. But anyway, we'll be back with y'all, man. Much love. Shout out.
For you.